What's up, guys, and welcome to another EBFG TV Matchday Preview. I'm Colton. Joining me is Brian. It's been a crazy week in the world of the Seattle Sounders. Brian, what do you expect from the boys this Sunday against the LA Galaxy?
I'm expecting them to come out flying. Between the new guys in the locker room, there to amp them up, the coaching change, and just kind of how pressing this game in particular is, with regards to our season. I think they're going to come out. We're going to see some energy like we haven't seen in a long time. I think we're going to hear ECS like we haven't heard them in a long time. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm really excited too. You have fresh blood in the players with Flacco and Lodiero, and you have a new coach, which is always pretty exciting. I'm hoping both of those things kind of light a fire under the boys, and they can really get out there and just show us some fight and really impress us with some new changes. I think that it'd be nice to get some revenge after LA beat us at home a few weeks ago and then knocked us out of the Open Cup in LA 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited about that.
Absolutely, yeah, it should be a fun one. Teams seem to usually do statistically well when they make a coaching change in the first game. So I'm hoping we can kind of ride that same momentum to a victory.
We have a question from @Stuba2 on Twitter. What's the formation going to look like now that Ziggy is gone?
I think we'll probably see the same 4-3-3 at least for a little bit. I would love to see some changes here and there. I haven't, I've not been a big fan of the 4-3-3 this season. I don't think we necessarily have the personnel for it. Would be interesting to see it now that we have Lodiero and Flacco up there. But yeah, I think we'll see probably the same thing this Sunday, and then maybe down the road he tweaks some things here and there a little bit. I'd love to see, based on who we have, like a 4-4-2 narrow diamond, put Lodiero at the top, Dempsey and Morris at their natural striker position. I think that could be something to watch, but we'll have to wait and see with what Schmidt does. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think we'll see any major changes this week. I think the 4-3-3 will be rolled out again. As I said, I think he'll try to keep it mainly the same so he doesn't screw with too many guys in this first week as coach. But I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple weeks, if the 4-3-3 still isn't working, if we do see some changes to a 4-4-2. I'd love to see Schmidt kind of implement a new style because the 4-3-3 has been a little unsuccessful this year in terms of like goal production specifically. Yeah. So yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me at all in a couple weeks to see a formation change. And speaking of Brian Schmetzer, we have a question here from @CasuallyUltra. Aside from going pants on head crazy and winning the MLS Cup, is there anything Brian Schmetzer can do to keep his job in 2017?
I don't think he necessarily has to win the Cup or even make the Cup final, but if he was able to turn the season around enough where we make, a deep playoff run, which, is very unlikely at this point, but, if he was able to show that kind of ability to manage the guys, get that fire back in them, I think he'll be in consideration for the job.
Yeah, I think as of right now, he's really probably not being talked about as, I guess, extending past this year. I don't really think he's on very many people's radars right now. I think since we did let go of Ziggy or mutually agreed to let go of Ziggy, whatever that was, in the middle of the season, Schmetz was the easiest thing to do. And that's why I think he's the coach. And I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying it's a lot easier to kind of bring on your assistant as an interim than go find a coach in the middle of the season. So, yeah, I agree with you. It would take a pretty remarkable run of play from now to the end of the season for Schmetzer to even just put his name in the conversation. I'd love to see it happen because, as someone said, he's the sounderest sounder to ever sounder, I believe is the quote. Yeah. And, yeah, I'd love to see it because to have, one of our guys, so to speak, in Brian Schmetzer at the helm for years to come would be an awesome thing.
Definitely, yeah. I just as much as I would love to see him, I'd love to, get some looks from some other people too. So I guess it's one of those things we'll just have to kind of wait and see how it plays out.
I think the club is looking to bring in maybe some fresh ideas and a breath of fresh air. And Brian Schmetzer, since he's been under Ziggy for the last few years, I don't really think he's that breath of fresh air. But maybe if he does well, he becomes that breath of fresh air and he becomes our coach for a few years. You never know. But speaking of Ziggy, we have a question here from La Girl. I always get confused. She's asking, she says, I'd be interested in how y'all feel about Ziggy's going away shindig last night and the media being there.
I've only heard, bits and pieces of this from people, so I don't maybe have the full story. I don't see. I see from both sides' perspectives. Basically, I get why the media would want to be there. It's a big event. It's the Ziggy's final hurrah. But I also get that it was an event for the fans. He wasn't going there to do a press conference. He was going there to meet fans and say goodbye. So I kind of see both sides of it. I saw some arguments here and there last night, but yeah, I get it, I guess.
I think in principle, it's maybe okay for the media to be there to observe from afar, maybe. I think what they did, which was kind of block off some of the members of ECS and some of the other fans who were there from Ziggy while he was giving his what looked like his kind of closing speech last night, was wrong. I don't really think they should have kind of built a wall between the fans and Ziggy because it was like a fan-first event.
Agreed.
I think I'm appreciative of Matt Pence, who posted what looked like a cell phone video of what Ziggy said last night because I couldn't be there myself. So I'm appreciative of that because I couldn't be there. And so it is cool that I kind of got to see what Ziggy said to everyone who was at Fuel last night. But yeah, at the same time, I think it's not really right of the media to come in with their massive cameras and kind of block people off from seeing Ziggy when it's there for a fan to Ziggy interaction, not like fan to media to Ziggy or Ziggy to media to fan. Ziggy was there to talk with fans. Fans were there to talk with Ziggy. It didn't feel like the right time. I just kind of felt like it was an invasion of what was a really good event.
It was, yeah. And I could, like you said, I could see them kind of, sitting in the back, getting their coverage. Yeah, don't really like them kind of shoving people out of the way to get up front. But I get why they were there, and I saw some people complaining about that. And
it just seemed like to me there were some toes stepped on, and it just was kind of it's never right of the media to kind of barge their way in to an event that is fan to Ziggy or fan to player, fan to club, whatever. It just felt like they kind of forced their way in, and I personally didn't really appreciate it, even though I wasn't there.
No, understandable. And they, Fuel is always 21 plus. They opened it to all ages yesterday, which they never do.
Yeah.
So really, it should have been something special for those guys who showed up, and it was kind of a shame that had to happen that way.
All right. On a final note, we have a question from @MLD Banks, and he asks, "How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?"
5.
5 woods?
5 woods.
5 woods.
There you go, Matt. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. There's the first ever EBFG TV scoop. If a woodchuck could chuck wood, it would chuck 5 woods.
5 woods.
All right. Well, guys, I think that's all we have for this week's match against the LA Galaxy. Hopefully we're talking to you after a Sounders win. Oh, predictions. What's your score prediction for this weekend?
I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say 4-1 Sounders win.
Oh, real bold. I like that. Do you want to do goal scorers or no?
Sure. I'm going to go Dempsey with 1, Morris with a brace, and let's say Ozzy. Ozzy's going to get 1.
Ozzy. That's good. Ozzy is due for a goal, isn't he?
Yeah.
Not sure if he scored this season, but yeah, that would be nice to see an Ozzy Alonso go in front of the Brom end. I'm going to go with 2-0. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I think maybe the Sounders can steal a goal and then kind of finish it off late. Kind of like we did the Supporter Shield game back in 2014. I'd love to see. We need 3 points this weekend, man.
Absolutely. We
need a result. We need a little bit of revenge. I'm not saying win it for Ziggy because that feels kind of weird, but win it for Ziggy maybe. We need the points this weekend. I'm going with 2-0.
I can get behind 2-0.
2-0 sounds good. 4-1 sounds good too.
We're going with a win though. That's the prediction is win.
3 points is the key here. That's what the club needs right now. We need 3 points. We need a good performance on Sunday, and I think we'll have some fire coming out.
That's what I want to see.
Full stadium game. It sure is going to be fun. I wish I could be there. That is all we have for you this week after predictions and everything. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we talk to you after an exciting Sounders win Sunday night. We will see you later.